Hi, I'm Ward Brickner. I'm here with Michael Palazzolo. We're business partners at Fortress Financial, and welcome to Smart Money. And today, as always, we have Mr. Chris Gannon behind the camera at Collaborate Studios helping us. And Chris, I have to say, Chris is a great video content creator. So if you're out there looking for someone that can really help you shine.
That is the new catchphrase we learned today. Content creator.
Content creator.
I like it. And he does an excellent job, by the way.
Chris is the man at Collaborate.
He does, yeah.
So today, Michael, as you know, we had a person that was going to come in and talk to us about all the complexities and issues that go on with payroll and HR. HR at companies is a thankless job. And unfortunately, she had to cancel today due to an illness. So, look, we have about 38, 40 years of experience. So we're just really going to kind of talk about the things that we hear on a regular basis, that are concerns to our clients and prospects. And, hopefully you guys can get something out of it. And at the end of the video, we're going to have a QR code. So if there's anything that we touch upon that you want to learn more about, or if you're looking for us to help you organize your investment portfolios and give you a roadmap to what we like to create for clients is income that's inflation adjusted throughout your retirement. Scan the QR code and you can give us a call.
You and I were talking earlier this morning regarding the state of the economy and the markets, and all that good stuff. And I was telling you, and obviously you agreed, is that right now we are in an unbelievable time for people to be investing in this market. The economy has been a little shoddy over the past three or 4 years.
It's been complicated.
Yeah, complicated.
With the rise of inflation and interest rates, it kind of throws everybody off. But I have to
tell you, this reminds me of, because you and I have like 35 years of experience, this now reminds me of the early 90s, like the 93, 94 time frame when the internet first started being introduced as the new technology for the future. And there was a lot of excitement and a lot of froth, if you remember, in the market, the whole .com craze. But there was also a lot of companies that built their foundation during that time frame. Companies like Amazon and Google, and these are companies today that are the leaders in the industries, and they're mega cap, mega monster companies. And I think we're seeing a situation, and also back in that time, there was a lot of companies that were the hot flyers of their day that are now out of business. You don't see them any longer.
Yeah.
Remember America Online, AOL?
Yeah.
And so you really have to be choosy and know exactly what we're looking at today and what companies we think, the investor feels, or we feel, because that's the information we give to our clients, that will be the next Amazon or Google. And everybody wants the new Amazon. I want to buy Amazon. What's going to be the next Amazon?
I think the new Amazon is Amazon.
Well,
and the new Google is Google.
But look at over the past 3 or 4 years what NVIDIA has created for itself. Yeah. 5, 6 years, Tesla. So working with people, investment professionals like us, we offer that we can provide that information where we can put you on a path and find you the right company where you can invest and hopefully build positions, and hopefully in 15 to 20 years, they could be the next Amazon or the next Google. But right now, we're in that situation with the artificial intelligence creation now becoming, in my opinion, the new internet. Back in 1993, the internet was called the information superhighway because nobody really understood it. But if you worked with investment people who understood and had a vision and did their due diligence on certain companies, you could have been locked into a situation that could have changed your life. And I think right now, that's where we are.
Well,
we're at that point right now.
It was complicated back then because, who heard of a Google? Like, what was it?
Who heard of
what's a Google?
Who heard of a Palantir?
And true, but and so investing, look, the reality is investing back then was complicated because you had companies that had $189,000 in sales, but they were worth more than General Motors. So as a financial advisor, we look at that and go, how could that really be a good investment? They're so overpriced, and yet those companies went on to become the foundation of the digital economy that we're so reliant upon now. And those are the very companies that are at the forefront of this new disruptive technology that every business is going to have to retool themselves.
Yeah.
We use it in our practice, and it is amazing. And there is a groundswell of hundreds of millions of dollars. 650 million last year went into AI. We have a new administration. Look, whenever there's a new administration, we always are looking at, what are the policies, what are the taxes, what are the tax ramifications, what are the regulations, because all of that affects business. So we have a pro-business administration that's in, and we feel very strong about going forward. Look, it almost didn't matter who was in.
No.
This technology was going to progress and go forward, but they're really creating a pathway for exponential growth. So we're very excited about, getting involved in this. But, so how does that fit into a portfolio? We have people that call and say, I had a lady today, she called me, she says, I want to invest in the Mag 7. She didn't even know what the Mag 7 was. She just happened to hear it. Yeah, how does that fit into your portfolio?
It's a catchy headline.
Yeah. And, there's more than 7 companies, so it's an exciting time in the market because this AI is going to touch every industry, water, utility. I mean, we don't have enough power. And
I have to just jump in. If you're sitting at home and you're watching this, and I will say this, if you don't do your homework or get involved in the market somehow, I think you're missing a fantastic opportunity. Look, we all know markets don't go up in straight lines. We know that. It's par for the course. But I think that if you're willing to do your homework and you're willing to take on risk, because there always is a lot of risk, and you work with people that can provide information and help execute your game plan, I think that you can do very well in the next 15 years. Well, I think the opportunity today.
I'll say this, Michael.
Right, you don't see this often.
I'll say this. You mentioned risk.
Yeah.
People that are in their 60s, yes, everything is based upon their risk tolerance, their goals, what they want to achieve and the time frame that they want to achieve it. So there's all sorts of things that have to go into a recommendation. We're not recommending anything. We're just talking conceptually. We're talking about things.
It's obviously conceptually. And absolutely. Because everybody has a different roadmap, different risk rewards, different ages. But I'll say we're not specifying a certain audience.
But one way to put the volatility, volatility in the short term is detrimental. But I think the volatility over the long term is what actually helps produce those type of returns that we're all hoping for and have witnessed, historically in the marketplace. So by investing structurally the right way in your account, you can mitigate the risk, because if you have your money structured in a way when you're in retirement that you have fixed and conservative investments up front and you put all your stock investments on the end, you give yourself plenty of time for the market to do its thing and you're not market dependent. But you and I see too many people come in with portfolios that are not structured right, that take on way too much risk at a time in their life when they need to be perhaps reducing risk, but yet they need that growth. So how do we find that balance between I need to have the growth, but I don't want to take the risk?
That's a great.
And that's what we help people with.
Yeah, that's a great point. And how we do that is we communicate with our clients. We have a lot of people that come in and do transfers and transfer the accounts over to us, which we appreciate. Thank you. But the reason being that they may be at a certain age and taking on too much risk is because they don't have the opportunity to communicate with the investment advisor and to make those changes. I mean, the most important thing is when you sit down with the client is putting together this quote unquote game plan and then executing it. But as time goes on, there has to be constant communication where somebody's risk rewards may change as they get a little older. How many times do we see people starting off with a growth portfolio, and then when they hit a certain age at retirement, they want to turn that growth portfolio into an income-producing portfolio?
Well, they don't know how to.
Well, they don't know how to, but if they had a good relationship, look, we have a good relationship with our clients, and we're constantly in communication with them. So that transition is seamless because you're always in front of people talking things through.
Again, there's a lot of things. Communication. How are you structuring your portfolio to minimize risk but maximize gains? There are other things to investments, and we'll just touch on a few things here. How does life insurance fit into an investment plan? I had a client call the other week and said, our kids are grown. We don't have to worry about college anymore. The house is paid. I don't need my life insurance anymore. And I said, well, wait a minute.
Wow, yeah.
That life insurance is a permission slip for you to spend your money because it's a wealth replacement strategy. So you can use more of your assets to increase your standard of living or maybe to pay for a long-term care. And you have that life insurance policy.
Let me just jump in and to
fill the bucket.
Many people, that's great point. Many people who purchase, let's say, a life insurance policy or a stock or a bond or an ETF, they're buying a product. They're not. Hold on. Wait. They're not buying the story behind the product that makes that product make sense.
I'm going to go back to communication because here's the thing,
right.
and people that have wealth have a tendency of attracting a lot of people.
Right.
Okay. So they have their accountant, they have their insurance guy, they have their banking guy or gal, they have their investment person and their insurance person. And what we find is that no one has coordinated all the pieces.
Right.
So they bought products. I need life insurance, but they never took into consideration how does that fit into my investment. It's not just a death benefit. There's other ways of utilizing life insurance within the plan, but there's a lot of different parts. No one's coordinated the parts. So we coordinate parts, we help structure, and I think through that structure, we give people peace of mind, give people the ability to be in the market, but not necessarily take on all the risk of the market for their income, at least.
Yes.
Because all the investments are 10, 15 years out, and we have structured in a way that it's important to have conservative investments, at least in the first 5 or 10 years of retirement. What if you pick the wrong time to retire and the market goes down the toilet and your investments are going down? You're gripping the table.
Let's get into the subject of retirement and specifically IRAs. You and I were talking this morning on the phone coming in, and we spoke about two things: Roth conversions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we also spoke about the IRA rollovers.
Yeah.
Let me just touch
on two overlooked areas.
I'll just touch on the IRA rollovers, and then you'll tackle the Roth conversions. Okay. The IRA rollover. Many people probably don't even know they can do this. If you're working for a company for 30 years. And
not even 5 years,
10 years. But
people move around.
But where I'm going with this initially is you're retired after 30 years, and you don't know what to do with this 401k because it was kind of on autopilot for all these years. You just put money away, it was matched, and that was it. So now, what do? Well, you really don't want to leave it at the employer any longer because, first of all, you want the liquidity. You want to be able to have that money where you can manage it. You want to be able to use that and invest it in a way that makes more sense as a 65-year-old person or a 60-year-old person or even a 50 or 45-year-old person whenever you retire.
Pause.
Yeah.
I did a 401k install. There are 28-year-olds and 30-year-olds that have their second and third job,
right.
and they have 401ks.
Right.
So we're not excluding them.
No,
they could roll that over.
Just using it as an example.
And the IRA is better for what reason? Why do you think the IRA is a better vehicle to grow wealth than the 401k platform?
Well, you have a lot more investment options.
You can manage risk better.
Right.
You can manage,
and you're working with. What you can do is something called an IRA rollover, where you can have your 401k plan at the ex-employer, and you can now open an IRA account with people like myself and Ward, and we can do an IRA transfer, a rollover, where you transfer the 401k at company A and move it over to people like myself and Ward that are with a broker dealer, Osaic. We have 13,000 financial advisors in our system. And I think we manage now 700,
900.
Yeah, 800, $900 billion. And now you have two fellows like us that have 35, 40 years of experience that can help you build for your retirement. And now you have a full entree of different types of investments you can be involved in.
Not just the funds that they put.
Not just the funds. So now it's individual bonds. It could be ETFs. It could be individual stocks. It can also be mutual funds. But you now have the ability to work with somebody and communicate with them, and we can offer suggestions based on your risk rewards through that main word we were talking about earlier, communication. Now you have a line of communication with two investment professionals that can hopefully help you achieve your goals.
Yeah. So in regards to not just 401ks, but we run across a lot of people that have IRAs at multiple places.
Yes.
And they wind up getting multiple tax statements.
Yes.
And then when it comes time for RMDs, they're getting RMDs notices, and they don't know, what do I do with these RMDs? And they don't realize, you don't have to take the RMD from that IRA. You could take it from this IRA. So there's some strategies.
That's a great point, because look, not many people stay with the same employer for 30, 40 years. That's great if you're able to do that. So they may have 3 or 4 other jobs in their past, and in each job there may be a 401k just languishing.
Maybe they rolled it to an IRA,
So you don't know. But if you consolidate everything, then everything is in one spot. Your RMDs are much easier to figure out by tax season. Good point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Roth conversion.
And the Roth conversion is a mystery to a lot of people. By the way, Roth doesn't stand for anything. Roth is just the name of the senator that came up with this.
Right.
And the Roth IRA is different than a traditional IRA. And anything tax-wise here, we're not recommending anything taxes. Talk to your tax consultant. But conceptually, on a traditional IRA, you're able to put money away. I think in 2025, it's $7,000. If you're over 50, it's an extra $1,000.
Right.
But you have limitations. If you make over a certain amount, you're not able to put in the full amount. And if you go over that limit, then you're not able to deduct the contribution. The Roth IRA is you put in after-tax money into the Roth. And the beauty of both of these IRA and Roth IRAs, it all grows tax deferred. The big difference, though, the Roth, you don't have required minimum distributions, and all the money that you take out of the plan, if you meet certain provisions, you keep it there for more than 5 years, you're over 59 and a half, you get to take that money out tax-free.
Right.
Tax-free. So now the Roth conversion, who should do it? When should you do it? There's a lot of moving parts there, so we can help you figure all that out. But a lot of times, if you are anticipating being in a lower tax bracket, it might be a good time. If you are in retirement and you are in a tax bracket that's lower, or if you're anticipating that you're going to earn less money, or if you have a stock market correction. So if your portfolio was worth $200,000 and now it's worth, $140,000, hey, now I can convert a lower number. I have the same amount of, but I can convert a lower number. So there are a lot of advantages for doing a Roth conversion, and it allows also highly compensated people that have high income. It's a kind of a backdoor into a Roth, because if you make over a certain amount, you can't contribute to a Roth. No. But if you do an IRA conversion, so if you have $100,000, you could do a Roth conversion. You have to pay the tax on the 100, but you can backdoor go into now the Roth. So it's a very interesting concept, and it really gives a tremendous amount of flexibility to the person in retirement, where they're taking money out tax-free versus taxable, and no RMDs. So if you have an IRA and you're considering, or you're just hearing of a Roth conversion and you like the sound of tax-free withdrawals and no RMDs, you may be a candidate. Give us a call, do the QR code, and we can help you with that. kind of close things up, is there anything else that you wanted to touch upon? I don't want this to get too long.
No, I just think that if you're watching and you need professional advice, and hopefully you will consider just reaching out to us, and we can set up a free consultation and maybe put your ducks in a row, so to speak. And again, there's no obligation.
Yeah,
it's what we just have a lot of knowledge that we like to share, and I think we can add a lot of value. Whether you're a younger person growing a nest egg or an older folk who has a nest egg and they want to secure that and create some income. But I think we can help.
And what you're talking about there is we can help you with accumulation portfolio strategies and distribution strategies.
Right. Yeah.
And we have a lot of people who are in retirement still in accumulation strategies, taking on more risk than they should, and they don't have their investments structured properly to take on the risk.
But if there is the person out there that likes that risk and they still want their money to grow, then we can provide a lot of information and help you make the right decisions, hopefully. We can't obviously guarantee anything. It's not what we do. But we can help you make the right decision in placing your dollars into investments that we think can do very well over the next 10 to 15 years. So to wrap this up, I guess if you have any interest, you can reach us through the
QR code.
QR code, and we'd be more than happy to sit down for a free consultation.
Yeah, appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.